This is Inspector Gadget Mad Robots Invasion for the PlayStation 2. It's a PS2 exclusive and it was only released as a PAL game, so the only way to play this is either with a PAL PS2 or a modded PS2. But if you can't play it, trust me, you're not missing out on much. I think this only cost me £1. And this game, it's if you don't know who Inspector Gadget is, it used to be, there was a cartoon called Inspector Gadget in the 80s, and that's what this game is based on. So on the back it says, Dr. Claw continues his quest for world domination. He dreams of a world completely ruled by super powerful robots that are indestructible and fitted with highly advanced artificial intelligence. Become Inspector Gadget, free your friends and save the world from Dr. Claw's evil clutches. 3D action platform game that plunges you into the crazy world of Inspector Gadget. Discover 5 landscapes and confront 5 terrifying bosses, find their weaknesses to beat them. They're not exactly terrifying. Use Inspector Gadget's gadgets to get you out of a jam. Gadget helicopter, gadget extension legs, and there's loads more as well. So there's a disc and the manual, and the disc is a CD. The manual's quite thin. You can see there's some advertisements for some PlayStation 1 games. This game, so you can tell this game is quite old since it's advertising PS1 games in the manual. This game came out in 2004. But it's quite interesting that this game only had a PAL release, since the cartoon was Canadian. So you'd think it would the game would have definitely have got an NTSC release, but it hasn't. So that talks about the story. Game controls, blah blah blah, notes, and that's it. So let's take a look at Inspector Gadget Mad Robots Invasion on the PlayStation 2.
So this is a 3D platformer which plays like a 2D platformer. Basically the graphics are in 3D, but it's like you're on a 2D plane, I suppose. The hearts in the top left of the screen are like a health meter, and basically every time you get hit by an enemy or a bomb or whatever, you'll lose a heart, and when you lose all of the hearts you'll lose a life, and your lives are in the top right of the screen. Obviously throughout the game you can collect hearts and you can collect lives as well. If you fall like down a hole, or if you drown or whatever, then you'll just lose a life straight away, no matter how many hearts you've got. The platforming in the game is quite tricky. It can be quite frustrating. That's the thing about this game, it does feel like it's aimed at kids, but it's as though the difficulty of the game is aimed at adults. I do find it to be pretty damn difficult and really frustrating in places. Most of the game is just platforming, but sometimes you'll get different bits like this one, like as you can see is just kind of flying around with a helicopter thing. Other parts you might be roller skating and so on. So you have like 3 main gadgets that you can use whenever you want. You've got like a tennis racket which will rebound projectiles back at the enemy. You've got a hammer to attack enemies, and you've got a little umbrella, so when you jump you'll float downwards, and I think it kind of extends your jump. There's lots of other gadgets that you can use, but you've got to pick them up. So you get, throughout the game you'll get like gadget pickups, like there might be springy feet so you can jump a much bigger, longer distance.
Go Gadget Hammer!
The voice actor for Inspector Gadget doesn't sound like the same voice actor that was used in the original 80s cartoon, and I was quite a fan of the 80s cartoon when I was a kid, back in the day. Now, often throughout the game, it'll ask you if you want to save, and it will load as well. So you get like saving times and loading times, which is kind of annoying. It breaks up the gameplay. It takes you out of the game. That's basically the game's major flaw. So yeah, kind of annoying when it happens quite often. The graphics, they're okay, I suppose. If it was a proper, fully 3D game, like if you was playing on a 3D plane, I think that's the right way of putting it, then the graphics will be quite good, I suppose. But considering the game is on a 2D plane, I guess they look average. I'm sure the PS2 could do way better than this. The sound is good enough, and the music, it's just repetitive. It's basically just the same song on a loop all the way throughout the game. Kind of annoys me a bit. Not really that much of a fan of the music. Would have been much better if they did the original Inspector Gadget theme instead. So the game spans across 5 different landscapes. So you've got like Paris, New York, London, etc. And each landscape is quite long to play through. That's pretty much it. There's not really much else to say about the game. You know, it's mainly platforming. You've got a few gadgets that you can use. There's a few levers here and there that you can trigger. You know, one lever might open a gate, another lever might make a platform start moving, etc. And that's pretty much it. Even for a platformer, the game seems really simple, and the game's simplicity is like a big reason for why the game feels as though it's aimed towards younger kids. So personally, I'm not really a fan of this game. I find it so. I can either take it or leave it. But I am going to continue playing through this game just because I'm curious about what the other landscapes are like and what the ending is like. But I know for a fact once I finish this game, I'll never touch it again. I just don't really find it to be that fun, to be honest. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this game to anyone. Even if you are an Inspector Gadget fan, I don't think I'd recommend it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.